I'm Matt Montgomery. Obviously, MeatSauce is off. Bye week, get out of town. Yeah. The common man, Dan Cole, sitting in. Hey, there's an old cliche. It says, don't meet your hero because you'll always be disappointed. You're my hero. We've worked together. I'm not disappointed.
Where did he go?
Yeah, you're saying where? Yeah,
well,
you.
Well, yeah, I'm not a knight in shining armor, but I can do it. I could tear my shirt open. There's no Superman there either. But yeah,
you don't have to be.
It's good to be here.
Well, thanks for coming. So we're going to talk. We got Gophers, we got Wild, we got Vikings.
Well, first of all, with MeatSauce, you don't.
You want to pick on MeatSauce while he's gone?
I guess I don't know if I really want to pick on him, but
go ahead, you can.
You don't have a makeup person here.
No, we don't.
How do you get by with him on the air then? I mean, you think you would need something.
Lenses haven't broken yet.
Yeah, he thinks he's a
10.
He thinks he's a 10,
yeah.
but
And that new hair that he has, he says he's John Stamos-like. Have you heard that?
Well, there's that.
All right, let's start the show. MeatSauce and Monty, obviously MeatSauce is gone, Common Man is here. See, we start with a bit. It's a bye week. We got plenty of time to joke around.
Yeah.
We still have plenty to talk about, but we can joke around about what we talk about too.
We can do whatever you want to do. I'm easy. It ain't easy being easy, but I'm easy.
You're
that's
easy.
For sure. Sure.
Let's start off with the Gophers. All right, they got a win yesterday in Maryland, 31-10. Does this mean that there's still hope that they could win the West? Is this what we expected?
Well, I guess, but what does it mean to win the West? The West, they say it's watered down. They say there's not, there aren't very many good teams in the West. And
maybe Wisconsin?
I guess, yeah.
Other than that?
I guess that they just lost Ohio State, but it was close, right?
Sure.
So they played well. I thought that if they put the handcuffs on what's the quarterback's name? Connor?
Rhoda.
I thought, well, if they don't let him throw the ball, they're going to treat him like he doesn't know what he's doing.
That's exactly what they did.
Well, they did.
And
I thought that actually that would work against them, but I guess they know what they're doing, and it worked in their favor. I mean, early on, it looked like it was going to be one of those games that was going to go down to the wire. Yeah. Maryland, but you could see Maryland's not a very good football team, and their quarterback, they called him Pig, right?
Yeah, he was a backup.
Pig, yeah, Pig. I'm not going to say he played like a pig, but he was okay.
Nickname, sure.
But Maryland is an awful football team. So, yeah, you win the game, and that's good, better to win than lose, but there's still nothing that makes me, I didn't see anything in that game or the previous games this season where I go, there's something there with this club. I just don't think there's anything there, but I suppose because the West isn't very strong, and I can't think Rutgers is very good either.
No,
and then
they're horrible.
Purdue's awful too, right? So you start piling up some wins, maybe gain some confidence. But in the end, I don't know what good it's going to do them other than get them some January. I mean, they might get a
mediocre bowl game.
Yeah, they'll get a mediocre bowl game. Maybe they'll play on New Year's Day, but there's still nothing there I can really sing like.
I think it's going to take a lot to get to New Year's. So Connor Rhoda, his lines, 7 completions, 15 attempts, just 82 yards, but 1 touchdown. Like you said, they had the kid gloves on. They tried to protect him. They didn't cut him loose to let him fall on his face.
I guess they were. For me, it would be like, kid, I'm going to show you how much we trust you. We're going to let you air it out. Now, maybe they don't trust him, or it's easy for me to say sitting on my couch while the coach's job could be at stake. Because remember, he's probably on a short leash with a new athletic director. I mean, because Clays wasn't the original guy. It was Jerry Kill. We know Jerry Kill retired due to health concerns. And so then Clays comes in, and Clays knows, I have to win football games in order to keep this job. And so my guess is he thought, I can't let some kid who's thrown, how many passes had he thrown leading into this? Like, it was 2? I think it was like 2 for 6 or something like that. So I guess I understand why they kept, and I think they also realized they didn't need to throw to beat Maryland, and they showed that they had really they ran the ball. I mean, they actually ran the ball like the old days when they had Maroney and.
Well, that's my next point. Rodney Smith, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shannon Brooks, 103 yards and a touchdown. What is it, smash and bang or smash and bam?
Smash and dash, I think.
Well, yeah, but it's with a B. It's bang Smith and Brooks. Smash and bang or smash and
bing and bong. I don't know.
You can say whatever you want.
I
know, but
they ran against a lousy Maryland team. Do have those two guys pile up those kinds of yards against a legitimate team, and then I'll say, well, you have something. And again, you've heard me say this a million times. It's not as though Minnesota's not responsible for putting the schedule together. They're not responsible for recruiting the players for the other teams. So if the other team is awful, well, that's not their fault. You play who you're up against. Yeah. So against bad competition, they ran really well. I'd like to see them do it against better competition, and my guess is later on in the season that'll happen.
If you just compared them to Maroney and Barber, I think you just nominated
That's a
yourself for the
preposterous
preposterous.
statement. Yeah.
You see where I'm going before I even
Well,
get there.
they look like Maroney Barber, but then again, you and I could have looked like Maroney and Barber.
Against Maryland,
Yeah,
maybe.
against
Well,
Maryland.
and next week against Rutgers, homecoming, they might put up similar stats, and Rhoda might not get hardly any passes. And
Is Rhoda playing for sure? I mean,
well,
do we know?
I haven't looked.
Right.
I don't have the crystal
Yeah.
ball. I don't know how Leidner's doing. They've been pretty quiet about that thus far.
Well, here is the other issue would have been: what if Connor Rhoda would have been called upon to have to win the football game and did and put up some gigantic numbers? Does
He'd be a hero.
And does Leidner get back?
Maybe not.
I mean, because again, I know that there are some national people that have said that last year, going into this year, that Leidner had a chance to be a first-round draft pick. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy that. I mean, I don't know what I didn't see in him, but again, I don't watch the 22 wide, so I don't really have an educated or
You're not
forthright
a great
opinion.
football
But
man. Yeah.
but it's like, okay, well, if he's that good, I've really not seen it. But if the other kid comes, and that would have been a great Minnesota story, right? Because he's is he from Eden Prairie?
No, Connor Rhoda?
Oh, yeah.
Connor Rhoda is Cretin-Derham Hall.
He's from Cretin.
St. Paul
He plays
boy.
at Cretin. He waits. Other quarterbacks depart. They transfer because they know they're not going to get a starting job. He patiently waits. He gets his job. I mean, I kind of thought that was coming. I thought it was going to be one of those 18 for 24 kind of games for 286 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
Only
but
tried
they didn't
15?
need it.
No. Real quick, preposterous statement. If you're aware, Tracy Clay's. It was in the strib, which you like to call the Fish Wrap West Side. The new athletic facility that's being built, they're scrapping the idea for the offensive lineman area, which is basically a half of a football field. And he said that it's a necessity, not a luxury, that they need that to keep up with the other schools because the weather. We're too far north, and these linemen can't be doing these drills outside all year round. How crazy or preposterous do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do that in about the size of the studio, I would think. I don't
You
think
could go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think you really need, but again, he's.
You're not going to rip him on that.
Well,
You're going to give him a pass.
I mean, it's kind of you kind of shrug your shoulders, roll your eyes, and then shake your head. Let me do that again. Shake my head, shrug my shoulders, and roll my eyes.
Keep your head up and your chin down.
Head up,
See, when
chin
you're on
down.
this show, that's all you just agree and we're
Just
good.
agree.
I was going to say go for basketball. They had Big Ten Media Day. If you wanted to rip on Patino, by all means, you can. They had Media Day. They were in Washington,
Now I
D.C.
wish you had the jet sound effects. So I could go, oh, there goes Richard on another recruiting trip. He sure did pile up the frequent flyer miles.
Sure.
Frequent flyer miles, didn't
And
he?
it didn't show because last year we were 2-16 in the Big Ten. So
well, I don't know how good the coffee kid is, if he's going to be really good.
For selling hope, he's the guy.
But, and see, that's the one thing that I don't think it had anything to do with the direction the program is going. I don't think it had anything to do with Richard Pitino's ability to convince him to come here or Coffee thinking, God, this guy's a really good coach. I think it was, this is where he's from. His dad played here. He wants to. So, and again, that's not, if I'm Pitino, I wouldn't say, I can't take you because I really didn't. Mike, what I'm trying to say is I think Coffee recruited the U and not vice versa. He was going to come here and play no matter what. His family's here, I think, so he wants to play here. And maybe that will help. Maybe he'll be that. I think he's like a top 100 prospect. Well, I've heard if he's a top 100 prospect. But is that enough, and are there enough pieces around him? I don't know. That was an awful basketball team last year.
Tough to watch last year.
It was dreadful.
Dreadful. All right. Time for our first time out. We're going to save Wild, Vikings, and Packer fans. Ooh, there's some shredded cheese tonight at Lambeau.
Delicious.
Here we go. Time for our first break. Welcome back. Vikings off today. We got plenty of football to talk about, but real quick, we'll get to the Wild. We were hoping.
I like the music coming in.
You like that?
I like that. Yeah, that's good. Is that MeatSauce?
I don't know who it is.
Because it wails.
Nice. The Wild get their first win at home. I was hoping they'd lose so you could keep the Boudreaux in 1, Boudreaux in 2.
Boudreaux in 3.
We could joke about how the kids in St. Paul learned to count.
Well, here's what's funny is, so they lose the first game.
Yeah.
And Bruce, I call him Bruce, I got a good vibe with him.
Nice.
And Bruce says, we were, who did we lose to? St. Louis. St. Louis had played, so they were up to regular season speed, and we weren't. And I'm like,
against Chicago, they beat them up. Yeah.
Here we go. Shrug my shoulders, shake my head, and roll my eyes. Go, come on, you're not really going to go to that. I mean, already
After
grabbing
one
into the
game.
excuse bag. Where can I? Oh, look, I'll use this one. So then they
didn't have the speed. We didn't have that full game speed.
I click on the game. I had a stand-up routine out at
New Hope
Cinema Grill. So on the way, I turned on, and it's like magic sometimes when I turn on the radio. Not when I'm on, but just sometimes I turn it on, and within like 15 seconds, a goal.
Yeah.
And then with 1.2 to go in the first, they scored right away again. So you know me, I couldn't wait to get to Twitter and go, wow, I wonder what excuse we're going to use this time.
Yeah.
Then I find out later they come back to win, and apparently he chewed him out in the locker room.
That's what I heard.
He said, the quote I saw on the fish wrap was, they looked beaten, or not that they were going to quit, but they just looked beaten.
After the first period.
Yeah, he didn't like their hang-dog look, so I guess he lit into them. And then it must have worked because they went out and they were getting booed apparently
already. First home game of the year.
First home game.
Boo.
Why? I understand that people
really?
have been
early in the season?
People have been led to believe by certain members of the media.
You mean the Skatry at
where's the camera?
Yeah, the red one, right?
And where's the red one?
Meat sauce.
And I'm turning to me, and you know who you are.
Yeah. Do you think
these are going to be? Yeah, these are going to be the Skatrys. This team was going to contend for. So people start to get excited about it, and then after the way it all fell apart last year, the team kind of quit on the coach, or at least that's the rumor.
Right.
And then they start out and they get beat in the opener, and then they just then at home they give it those 2 goals quick. So I think people were just a little annoyed. But yeah, maybe they'll be all right. I don't know.
Maybe they'll be all right. I don't know. Plenty of.
Well,
you're not supposed to say I don't know, but
I
don't know, but
I'm not supposed to say I don't know. Well, because we don't know because it's still too early in the season.
Right.
It's like, for instance, I have another theory now.
Let's hear it. Are you breaking it right here?
This is the first time I've said it because people have been wondering why aren't people watching the NFL as much anymore? Because the NFL ratings apparently are down.
Right.
And there are numerous things. Some people are watching them on their handheld computer that doubles as a cell phone. Yeah. They're also they're streaming. Some people think the political season has got some people's attention more than it normally would. Sometimes maybe it's an oversaturation because you got games now on Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, all day Saturday, or all day Sunday, and some of it is just mediocre teams, which I think it's probably all of those. But I think part of it too is you just kind of wait for the season to flesh it out a little bit. You wait to see, because at the beginning of the year you really don't know who's going to be any good and who's going to be bad. Now you're kind of seeing who the good teams are going to be. You got like Minnesota, you have Dallas, you have Atlanta,
Carolina.
Seattle.
People would have thought Carolina would be a great team. See, they're horrible. Arizona not doing so well. All these teams that they probably at the beginning of the season thought these are our contenders.
And now they're not there. So I think that's what it is. And I also think maybe it's my cause of trying to get people not to care so much
Your
anymore.
cause.
Well, it's mine. I've been doing this forever. I've been trying for years.
Sports is your whole life, just sports.
Enjoy the season, good or bad. Don't be that fan that lives, eats, breathes, and sleeps, and your mood changes when your team loses. I think people are starting to catch on nationwide now. This is a what's the word I'm looking for?
You're starting a revolution.
I'm starting a revolution.
That's
exactly what I'm trying to do here. It's starting. It's building slowly, but it's going to take the country by storm.
It's going to take over. Ratings are going to tank. Seats will be, and then the $1 billion bank will be worthless.
I'm starting to call it E-Pull-Tab Park. E-Pull-Tab Park.
Yeah. How did that turn out? All right. Let's talk Vikings. 5-0 NFL Power Rankings, #1, first time ever. Do you buy into it? Like we were saying, the season is now starting to come along. We're past the first quarter poll.
Yeah.
Is #1 in the power rankings, does it mean anything?
Well, no, it really doesn't. Yeah. But what it means is that they are one of the better teams in the NFL. I mean, are they the first, best, third, second? None of that matters because, there are so many cliches in sports. And the reason they're cliches is because generally they're true, right? So these teams... You play your September and October games, so the November, December ones mean something, right? Because if like Carolina's games aren't going to mean they lost again today. I think they're like 1-4.
Yeah.
Their games more than likely now in November and December are not going to matter. Vikings already at 5-0. I mean, unless they somehow went in the tank and spiraled out of control and lost 2 or 3 in a row, but that's not going to happen. So their games matter now. So they're one of the better teams, but so much of it, we've seen it before. Teams that are the wild card, the 6th seed, will advance to the Super Bowl because they get on a roll. So
the Giants, I think Eli Manning has done it twice.
The Giants have done it a couple of times, and so
it can happen. You get your foot in the door, you got a chance.
And they're defensively, they're. I mean, we've been comparing them to the Bears' defense since 2014.
Are you looking at my notes again?
No, but we've been comparing them since 2014 because that was when we first see the esoteric approach to sports.
Right.
I don't need statistics and numbers. I just watched the Zimmer defense and said, this defense is. This was in their 7-9 year. But you could see it. So we started in
2014.
In 2014, we started to make the comparison to the Bears, and we got laughed at there. We were doing a little tongue-in-cheek.
Sure, a little bit of a bit.
And then last year, it was starting to look more like that. But this year, right now, if you look at the 6 major categories in which they rate defenses, the Vikings lead in 4 of them, the Bears in 1, the 85 Bears, and then one of them is tied. So
so the takeaways and the points per game were probably winning, because that's.
I think those were the ones. There were 4 of them, and I can't remember each one. There were maybe yards per game or points surrendered. But it's hard not to like the way they play defense, and the Bradford.
Yeah.
Again, it's 4 games in, right?
5,
but 4 for him, right? Because he didn't play week 1, right?
Yeah. Sean
Hill. It was Sean Hill. So he's had 4 games with the Vikings, and his numbers, he's posted in this 4-game stretch is better than any 4-game stretch he's ever had anywhere else he's ever played. Maybe college was better,
well, they said
but as a pro.
His quarterback rating coming into today, he was number 2 behind only Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. So that he is having the best season of his career.
Yeah, and so far so good. And he doesn't have a lot of superstar receivers to throw to. The Diggs kid's nice.
Yeah. Thielen's
local
nice. Boy, we gotta love him.
Right. Peterson's. I don't know if he'll ever play for him again unless he takes a major pay cut. And so they're one of the best teams in pro football. But let's see what they're like in December.
Sure. All right, we got a minute left. Let's rip the Packers. They lose today, 30-16 to the Cowboys. Your 2 most hated football teams.
Yeah.
Are you upset that the Cowboys won?
Well,
or would you be more upset if the Packers won?
Yeah, I would have been more upset. The Packers. I think like most Viking fans, we're just really. It's gotten so old. Here's what I tell people too: is that
our director is a Packers fan. So if we say it's getting so old.
Here's what we all know, that if you kind of live and die by your quarterback play, and they've been fortunate enough, and to have 2 of the best quarterbacks, Favre and then Rodgers. Yeah. I saw something when we first acquired Bradford, they were comparing all the quarterbacks the Vikings have had in that same time frame. Green Bay's had 2, a couple other guys maybe 1 start here and there. We've had like 900 different quarterbacks, and so. But are they going to now when Rodgers, and again,
are they going to get another good one?
Well, yeah. The next time, will they get it? And if they don't, then they're going to be like a lot of the other teams: terrible teams, terrible city, terrible fans, terrible stadiums.
Love it. All right, we got a little bit of trivia coming up, and every question deals with Common and his show on KFAN. If you're a fan, you're going to want to stick around for that one. Welcome back. See, now I'm more of an architect meets gardener, because I have to put together my notes so that I have something to work with, but we can talk about anything.
Yeah.
Trivia, this could go anywhere. I might get 1 question in, I might get all 8 in, we'll see.
These are questions you want me to answer?
Yes, you have to answer. Well, I made it. So. All right, number 1. I need the name. Minnesota native, who's an actor, author, TV host, many other things. He was also a bodyguard for the Rolling Stones in the late 70s and early 80s. Who am I talking about?
Now you listen here. You find this funny, Mr. Rowe? You were smiling and laughing. I said you find this funny. At least you're not smiling and laughing anymore. Yeah, Jesse Ventura.
Nice, ding. Yeah. So, and what's your position?
I'm the official and unofficial ambassador to Minnesota Golf, and Jesse handed me that proclamation between the 9th green and the 10th tee box at the TPC of the Twin Cities. September, I believe it was 20th, 2001.
They should have a placard sitting right there where
I've got
happened.
The proclamation. I've got one framed and the other in like a laminated menu kind of a thing that I keep with me wherever I go. I got it in my back pocket right now.
Do you talk and text more than people know with Jesse?
No,
he's gotten too big time?
Yeah, well, I just think he's so out of pocket. I don't even think he doesn't even keep a cell phone, I think, right? Remember, didn't he say?
Tough to get a hold of.
Well, because I think he doesn't carry a cell phone because he thinks the government is following him and they know where he is at all times.
Yeah. So. All right, next question. New York Times article released in 2015 says 62% of Americans do this every day at work. What do you do around the noon hour?
Eat. While they're working.
Eat lunch at work.
Eat lunch working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
62%
well, it's
they
not
sit
my
at their
fault.
desk. I know. Your time slot.
People get annoyed and they'll say, well, that's gross. It sounds awful when you're eating on the. I can't help it. When do you eat lunch? Between noon and 1 o'clock.
That's right.
I can't help it that they've scheduled my my work day at noon. So instead, people should be looking up to me and verbally slapping me on the back and saying,
you're working hard. You're not taking a break.
I'm not taking a lunch. There's a dedicated, he's taking a working lunch every day.
You and 62% of America, hardworking people.
Thank you.
All right. In 2012, this baby boy's name was ranked 134th in the United States. Now in 2016, it is number 47, and it is also one of the zodiac signs. What name? Nostradamus is working very hard on this one.
Aries.
No. What name?
Leo.
There you got it. See, second chance.
Took me a while.
See, I said we got to have something in here for Tenna B.
Yeah.
Now you can test to see if he watches or not.
Tenna B. No, he's on a little mini vacation.
What? He's out of town?
He's out of town.
So he and MeatSauce bye week get out of town. Paul Allen, everybody but you.
What do we
hard
do?
working.
We stay here. I fill in
right.
for him. That's what we do.
We're tough working people.
Yeah.
All right, an actor. His career spanned more than 60 years. He was known as the Latin Lover. He played opposite Carmen Miranda, dancing.
Cesar Romero.
You're all right.
Delicious.
And today, delicious. The Packers lose.
It was so good.
I love it. I didn't even get to finish out that he was the iconic villain. You're just like, boom.
Well, that's
Latin Lover.
Well,
you knew it right there.
And it's like, for the kids that never watched the television series Batman, it ran for like 3 or 4 seasons back in the mid '60s, and all the villains were fairly well-known actors that just took the role just for the fun of it.
Sure.
I mean, they were serious. Cesar Romero, Burgess Meredith played the Penguin. Frank Gorshin played the Riddler. Julie Newmar and Eartha Kitt both played the Catwoman, and they would play these characters because it was just a campy television show.
They had fun.
But everybody wants to go, oh no, Heath Ledger did the best Joker ever. Which, okay, from a movie standpoint, I get it because it was dark and mysterious and crazy. But nobody was better than Cesar Romero. It wasn't.
He raised the bar too high.
He raised the bar too high, and there was nobody played a better Joker than Cesar Romero.
Nice. But see, these questions I cater just for you. 1977, one-hit wonder, soft rock. It peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100.
Jay Ferguson, Thunder Island.
Yeah. See, you're like, no, I know you're reading.
No, I did. I know.
You can see
I
right
spin
away.
hot stacks of wax from the top of the racks on Sunday afternoons.
Who was his lead guitarist in that song?
I don't know that.
According to Wikipedia, which is never wrong.
Right.
Joe Walsh of the Eagles.
Joe Walsh?
Yeah. That's
Jay Ferguson. He had the one hit. He played in a couple of other. I think he played in a band called Spirit, maybe.
Sure.
But anyway, what he ended up doing is now, and I still think he does it to this day. He does television musical scores.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so he's still working.
So he's still working. He's trying to make a living doing the best that he can, but he's still in the music business. But he's not, making hits on top 40 radio.
Well, he's not top 10.
No.
You ran the table in trivia. We might get one more in when we tease our little Twitter poll. But time for a break. We'll be back with the Common Man's Twitter poll after this. All right, welcome back. You can always
Joe
find
Walsh
us on
on
Twitter.
guitar.
Yeah, you got it now. You can always find us on Twitter. You can listen to him every day on KFAN 100.3 FM, noon to 3. The program is the best show.
The Grum.
The Grum. And a friend texted me as soon as I tweeted that you were going to be filling in for MeatSauce, and he goes, "Tell him he is my favorite."
No.
I listen to KFAN. Oh yeah, Casey.
Lucky.
He's a huge fan.
Well, good. I'm glad he said so. Thanks for listening.
So we did a Twitter poll. We asked when we said that Common was coming in, would he wear his iconic golf hat backwards?
My backwards beret?
Well, beret. But
Yeah.
you golf
Tam
hat,
O'Shanter hat, whatever you want to call it.
but
lid.
It's your look.
Yeah.
70% said he would. He didn't. We got 10 seconds.
Well,
Your thoughts?
I wore it every day for like 20 years, and then just about 6 months ago, I stopped wearing. I still wear it occasionally, but I just stopped.
And you cleaned up.
I cleaned up.
Hey,
I look pretty
thanks
good
for
too.
coming.
Thanks. It's my pleasure, my boy. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Wales!